to say, I'm really enjoying this Elvis show. He's just, as I've already said this, he's just been that all-round entertainer. He's been that entertainer who's sang so many different genres of music. I mean, his gospel is so renowned, which I'm sure you know bits about as well. But you told me a story not long ago about a guy called T.G. Shepherd. What was that story all about?
You know what? We were out in Nashville recently and got to meet T.G. Shepherd. And in the course of conversation, he started telling us this story about the fact that he'd run away from home at 16 and ended up on the street in Nashville or in Memphis, and Elvis met him. And Elvis took him home. And he lived in Graceland for up to 7 years. And Elvis obviously recognised the talent in him. And when he started and decided that he was going to go on the road as a professional entertainer and needed a tour bus, Elvis actually gave him the tour bus. But I've heard so many stories like that.
I'm a bit like you. I've heard stories along the way about his generosity.
Yeah.
There's even stories about him sort of coming out of Graceland and sort of being dressed and people not recognising him and turning up at people's homes and whatever, So, but I think his music speaks for himself. But the man, when you see him in his interviews, he was such a genuine guy.
Yes.
Real genuine.
Well, you know what I would say to you, and I suppose it's only when you go to the Deep South that you realise that it's the heart of the Bible Belt.
Yes.
And Elvis started singing actually in the church in Tupelo. And when we go next year on the Elvis tour, we stop there, and they've created a beautiful Elvis Centre in Tupelo. And Tupelo's this small town in Mississippi. And so they've brought the house up to where the church is, because remember, that's where Elvis started recording. I've actually heard as well that when Elvis would go into the studio, he'd get the guys in the mood by getting them all around the piano and singing gospel. I mean, he loved gospel music.
Yeah, not only in the studio, but I believe before concert there was a capability of the guys getting together and do all that sort of thing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the gospel music, I mean, for myself as an entertainer, I can look at my own life and by no means put myself in any Elvis bracket, but I can look at my own life and I've got my own thoughts about my early days as well. And even to this day, although I don't get the opportunity as much, I think it's one of the most beautiful and serene places to sing in, and that is in the church. So it brings something very, very much home to you.
Yeah. You know, the funny thing about that is that, and I keep saying this about the American artists, where it's not something that the Irish artists do. You go to any American country music artist, in almost every CD they feature a gospel song.
Well, if it's a gospel song, there'll always be a thank you to God Himself. They're ever so grateful for what they do believe is their talent, and the talent is God given.
Absolutely.
They're not afraid to share that with us, and that's what I've always loved about them as well. Because I'm sure there are many entertainers who want to basically open up their heart and talk honestly and truthfully. But the American entertainers have been able to do that over the years, and Elvis definitely expressed that, not alone through his recordings, but even on stage as well.
I think we should listen to Elvis singing a little bit of gospel.
Well, it would be wrong if we didn't, so it's about time we
let's
did.
do that.